and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an unboxing from Hermes for you all. It is a quota bag unboxing and I'm super excited about it. But first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey to Paris to the FHS store, how I found my first experience within the store, and some of the surprises that happened along the journey as well. So if you like this video, then please give it a like and I will see you in a bit. So I was in London for about a week before going to Paris. Already had the Eurostar booked for the day that I wanted to go and just had to secure an appointment with Hermes. So I was trying the whole time I was in London and I was not getting through to get any appointments. I didn't want to be too disheartened with this experience, so I definitely didn't put all of my hopes in getting a quota bag. I have been building relationships outside of Paris, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I also know that it is worthwhile doing this just in case you might have some good luck on your hands. Nonetheless, I had definitely tried a few times and didn't hear any response. Unfortunately, wasn't getting anything. On the night before I had booked to go to Paris, what I had actually done was went on the website and booked really late in the night, and I thought that this would probably give me a little bit more luck to securing an appointment. However, I still did not get anything, so I decided that I wasn't going to think about quota bags. So I went to Paris, caught the first train, which is about 6 a.m. Very busy. If you've been to the Eurostar, you know that you can't get any seats unless you get there super duper early. But usually trains can be delayed as well, but the first train is generally not delayed. So this train ended up being delayed just by a little bit. Once I got there, I had a list of places that I wanted to go for breakfast. I've definitely been really great with my diet recently, and I wanted to treat myself when I went to Paris. So I had lists of macaroons that I wanted to buy. I wanted to have baguettes. I wanted to have lots of pastries. And in that day, I definitely did all of that, ticked all the boxes for pastries. Before getting to Paris, I did transfer quite a large sum of funds just so that I was ready in case anything was to happen. Once we walked in, I was actually quite shocked with how small the entryway looks. When you get in there, it has a dark vibe, very similar to Harrods, and I kind of felt like it was a lot smaller than what I had anticipated. I got greeted in French. I said to her that I don't speak French. She switched and her accent was a full Australian accent, and I was very surprised because I was like, whereabouts are you from? Your accent is very Australian, but her French was also really good. And then we got off chatting. We're chatting there for actually quite a long time, just about random things in Australia and just some of the funny things. Nothing of course, just everything to do with the Olympics, Australian culture, and assimilating into another country. Yeah, she was so lovely. She was like, come back and say goodbye when you finish shopping. So she got us a sales associate pretty much straight away. I wanted to try on some shoes, so I tried on some sandals, and I also tried them on in a different color. I originally knew that I wanted to just get the black ones, and the black ones were the ones that I wanted to look at in the smooth leather. I loved how the black ones looked. And the lady said, would you also like to try them on in another color? So she had the brown color. I'm not sure the official name. It's generally gold, but I'm not sure if the shoes are called gold because they're slightly a different color. I like the way these looked, but I thought that I wouldn't get as much use out of a brown sandal. I knew I wanted black. I told her that the black ones were the ones that I wanted and to put them aside for me while I did the rest of my shopping. So after that, we got transferred to another sales associate upstairs. So they have different sales associates for different departments. So you don't have the one person following you around the whole store. I wanted to have a look at this ring. So I looked at this ring in sterling silver, and to be honest, I really loved how this looked. However, it wasn't really making me feel a certain way, like I wanted to invest in their silverware. And I definitely think that if I'm going to invest in silverware, I would do it from Tiffany's because they have such a great selection of silverware and they've been doing silverware for so long, and I just think that it's more worth it in my opinion. So I decided not to go ahead with that one, and then we moved over towards the homewares, and the homewares was something that I was really excited about because I know that they have such a great range of homewares and the displays of the rooms were so pretty and beautiful. They have the petite selection, which is for children. They have the recycled selection there, and they also have the beach wears. I only took very brief videos as I just felt like I was too busy to be filming inside the store, but here's a little bit of footage that I did. And I had a little bit of a walk around, and as soon as I was looking at some of the tableware, this lady just popped out of a door and said, "Hello, hi, how can I help you?" She just took one look at me, she was rushing out of the stock room and she just served me straight away. I love this. She was very efficient, and I told her that I wanted to look at the 24 Platinum collection. So I had a look at some of the collections, looked at the teaware selections and some of the other designs, and then I put a few of them aside as well. Towards the end, I did ask when I was at the checkout if they had any bags available today, and unfortunately I was greeted with, "Unfortunately, we don't have any available today, but if you come back tomorrow, we'll be able to look after you." So I've definitely heard this is a thing that they ask you to come back later or another day. However, I only had one day in Paris and I had so much planned to do in London after this day that it really wasn't possible for me. I told her that and she said, "Oh, it's just unfortunate at the moment. We have nothing, but even if you could come back later." And she said around closing time, and I just thought, we have the train booked for later today. I said I can try and pop in, but I knew that within myself I wasn't able to, otherwise I would miss the last train back and then have to stay in Paris. It's definitely not worth stretching myself when I've got nothing promised or no guarantees. So I definitely decided to just give a false hope of I may and not actually deliver. So I left the store and I was feeling quite good because I had the purchases that I wanted to make while in Paris. I was then a little bit peckish, so I wanted to get something to eat. So I went over and had something to eat and had a baguette. It was just so French. And the people in France today were absolutely lovely. They always are really nice in Paris to me. I do the basics. I don't speak French. I only say greetings in French or excuse me in French and thank you in French. That's all I know how to do. And I always get treated with respect and like a warm welcome. I would say even warmer than London, which London can be a little bit cold sometimes. So yeah, I had a really great lunch and then decided to go walk around the gallery. The Louvre was closed. It was a Tuesday, and also I wanted to go to the Dior gallery, but that was also closed as well. It closes every Tuesday, which I was very surprised by, that a lot of galleries are actually closed on a Tuesday. As a business that does work on tickets and sales from tourism, one day a week being closed is actually a huge revenue for the year that they're missing out on. And I get that that's their day off that they would prefer to close on, but it's just so surprising that they couldn't even open 7 days a week for certain things that are so popular. There was not a lot of galleries that we could see, but I decided that I wanted to go and look at some of the pre-loved luxury stores. Now there is a lot of pre-loved luxury that you can buy in Paris. So I went to a few places that I had on my list. Some of the places I have listed here are the ones that I've heard of that stock a lot of designer items in particular. Had a look at a few stores, then we decided to go into this one particular store. We had done a lot of shopping and I wasn't too pressed with the fact that I didn't have a sales appointment. I had a look at some of their Hermes bags. Now, some of the pre-loved bags would range quite differently. You would have more vintage bags that would start around usually about 9,000 for a vintage bag, and this is something that was created by Hermes in the 90s. That would range around the 9,000 mark, and then you would have things going all the way up to about 25,000 at the max. Things like Birkin 25s, Kelly 25s, and Constance's. I was looking at the Kellys and I thought these are quite good, but they're also quite expensive. They're going around 23,000. And I thought, I don't really know if that's better than getting it in London, because sometimes you can get them for a little bit cheaper, depending on whether or not the condition is absolutely brand new. A lot of them already had wear in them, and I saw this bag and I just fell in love. It was from a few years ago, so probably about 8 years old, and she said that it doesn't come with a box, but it comes with the dust bag and it still has the receipt. I had a look at it and I just fell in love. I was so stunned by it, and the reason why I felt like I was so drawn to this is because I have nothing like this in my collection, and I'm definitely a sucker for something different. And inside this bag is something that I picked up from a pre-loved store in Paris. A beautiful Constance bag in lizard leather. And this wasn't on the shop floor. This was actually in the back. She just got this on the day that I arrived, and I was trying on a few bags. We were chatting to her. She said that I've got one bag that has just arrived today, because I was looking at a crocodile Birkin bag and it was in this dark brown color. It was like with palladium hardware, and it was beautiful, but it was a little bit worn in. And I said, you know, it is such a gorgeous bag. It has a little bit of wear on it. It was going for around 40,000, and I was not interested in getting a crocodile bag, but I was interested in an exotic. And for me, exotic is ostrich that I'm interested in, and lizard. And I have looked in the past at lizard bags. I've looked at Dior, and I remember when I was in Greece, I had a look at a bag there and I was so close to getting it, but I just wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to get a brand new exotic bag from Dior. And they do go for quite a high price. And looking back, I kind of do wish that I got it, but I'm also not upset that I didn't get it. But I knew from then, when I first saw the exotic bags in person and got to feel them and try them on, that I definitely wanted one sooner or later. And it's definitely something that I wanted to add to my collection within the next few years. I just didn't know what brand it would be, whether there'd be Louis Vuitton, because they have some also really nice ones, or Dior. Chanel don't do them anymore, and I'm not too much of a fan of Chanel classic flaps anymore. But surprisingly, when you get exotics and Hermes, depending on the style of the bag, they can be a little bit more affordable than you think. And because this is a Constance design, it is a quota bag, or it's considered a quota bag in most places. In Paris, I don't think it is considered a quota bag, but they can go for a little bit cheaper than the other bags. So as I said, it was quite expensive for the crocodile one, and it was pre-loved, but this one I think was a good price for me. The color is this gorgeous. It's called Vert Olive. It's like a very traditional olive color. And as you know, I do have a green Birkin now, so I am starting to lean towards this green sensation of colors. And I just loved how this was a neutral bag, but in an exotic leather that I think is very usable and wearable. Love the design of the Constance. This is the old design that has 2 compartments, so it is quite a big bag. You can fit a lot in there. I have been wearing it because I just could not wait for the unboxing and everything, and I've been traveling, so I've definitely been wearing it. But the condition of the lizard skin is still perfect. It is like a smooth lizard. It doesn't have, you can't feel the scales coming out, and it's very soft. It has a different smell to leather, so it doesn't smell like your typical leather, but there is leather on the insides, and I can also smell that leather. And it's actually a smooth skin on the inside. So if I show you, it's slightly lighter in color, so it doesn't have that dark color. It matches, but it's not as dark as the lizard. There's barely any scratches. It's a very soft leather, and I think this is just Swift leather on the inside. And you can see that there are 2 compartments in there. This is the bigger one towards the back, and this is the slimmer one towards the front. So I have a sunglass case which I bought on my trip as well, and it fits perfectly in the back compartment. And then I will either put my phone right in the back, because also this one has a pocket here, which I don't think the new ones have pockets at the back, or maybe they had a release that doesn't have. So it's very, very handy, and I was using that pocket quite a lot, as when I'm opening and closing this clasp, it does tend to bounce a little bit on the H, and it doesn't have any protection on this, so there's no plastic. They had already taken it off. I mean, I will end up scratching it, but I don't want to scratch it before I need to scratch it. I love the gold hardware. It is very bold. It is a big H. This is not a problem. I don't mind logos on my bags. You know, a lot of people don't really recognize this one as much as the Birkin. I could not be happier with this bag, and I'm so excited to have exotic leather in my collection finally. Traveling with this bag has been super easy as well, because I've just put it inside of my Birkin, and I have traveled back to the UK. There is no sighties with this bag, so I'm literally living life on the edge, and I have to get some sighties for this, because I won't be able to take this bag into Australia. They're very strict, so I'm going to have to get that sorted out. It hasn't been an issue, but I know that exotics need the sighties in order to successfully travel between countries. For now, let's just appreciate the beauty of this bag. Very easy to style. It is basically a neutral, and olive bags are not that common, especially in lizard skins. I've considered myself very lucky to have got this one. It's just the right place at the right time, even though I wasn't able to successfully get a bag from the boutique in Hermes. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to try again next time I'm in Paris. In fact, I have better connections now. I have a purchase history in the Paris store. You never know what can happen. I will be doing a review on this probably in about 6 months' time. It's a shoulder bag, so it's way more usable than the Birkin bag. I find the Birkin bag is great for traveling, but I don't use it for dinners because of, you know, the size and the fact that I can't put it on the shoulder. But this is definitely different. I do need to be a lot more careful when using this one, so that I don't accumulate scratches or ruin the lizard skin, because this can definitely change color, and I wouldn't want to accumulate any black spots or anything like that on the bag. So I definitely have to be very careful. You can see the handles, they loop through these 2 holders here. This goes quite well on my shoulder, not too high under the shoulder. There's quite a good drop. And then if you do adjust the strap, so if you adjust the strap like this, then this is also a great length for you to wear on one shoulder. I don't wear this across body that often. I can, it does sit a little bit high for me, but I find that when I wear this on the shoulder, it's perfect, especially for evening events. And it's definitely something that I wanted next from Hermes, as I can't use my other Hermes bags so much for formal events. So I'm so happy, and I just feel so lucky. Like, even though things don't work out at the Hermes store, I just had such good energy, such good vibe, and I'm so glad that I ended up with this instead. It's a beautiful exotic piece. It is, you know, something that was created in the past, and the color is just so unique and gorgeous. If I was going to get a bag from the Hermes boutique, I would have gone neutral. I would have gone for something that is very readily available, not in a seasonal color. I would have gone for something like black or gold or grey, or a lot of these natural sort of neutral colors I would have gone for. And if something was offered to me that was not neutral, I probably would have turned it down. And this kind of makes me feel like it's very interesting. When you go to the store, you kind of just want to get what you want to get. And when you go pre-loved luxury, you can really choose and have that experience that you really want. Stay tuned, because I will be styling this bag and showing you the different ways that I like to wear this. But for now, I'm going to do a little try on. So I'll see you in a bit. Also, I wanted to show you something that I got from a store called Cruise Fashion, luxury seconds, stuff that's sort of out of season. They buy stock and then you are able to purchase it for a little bit of a reduced price. I saw this in a store in Scotland. If this was in London, I swear that it would have been snatched up in 2 seconds. This gorgeous t-shirt, one medium left. I fit into the small, but I wanted to get medium. This is a gorgeous Gucci t-shirt jumper and it has gold glitter all over for the monogram and it's on a navy blue background. Price retailed for, well, on the thing it says $7.40. I got this for $5.90. You can buy this from Selfridges still, from the Gucci store, and it is $7.40. So I consider myself quite lucky finding this one. I also got a pair of sunglasses, which I will show you. So I got these sunglasses in here. So they're in a Gucci case, which is like this velvety. So they're kind of like aviator styled. I love how these look. Aviator with the little brim at the top, very black. Should I put this on? I won't put it on now, but I will show you a few more outfits that go, but you can see this will just look really cute with that as well. Even though it's lizard, it's like casual at the same time. A lot of people are scared of exotics because they think it's a bit too mature, it's a bit too grown. It might be difficult for you to style, but I totally disagree. I just feel like you have to trust your instincts and just go for it. It just styles so nicely. It looks very casual when it's short on the shoulder. When I got this baby, green and pink just works so well. I would definitely do this as well. I love this one. This is what started the infatuation with the leather and the brand. So, you know, very, very cool to have now. 2 in my collection in such different bags. This is definitely more casual, but definitely more formal as well. And this is just 100% casual travel and just a great pop of color. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye now.